Thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to start Christmas card kits. I know it's August, but we have to get started on that. So we're going to start with this adorable Magnolia image called Tilda with Christmas Lamp. Oh my gosh, isn't she so cute? I love her. So I have stamped this cute little sentiment here for the kit, so you will have that in there. If you hate this sentiment, you can always trace this little tag on another piece of white cardstock and cut it out. This cute sentiment, though, comes from the CC Designs Funny Christmas stamp set. There are a ton of little cute little sentiments in there, and I'm sure I will be using them on other cards. So if you want that or this cute card kit, remember they are limited, and I'm not going to make hardly any of these because it's Christmas. I can't have these sitting around forever. So I'll put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to stop by and pick something up. If you have a question, make sure to leave me a comment and I will get back to you on that. Otherwise, I have stamped my image on Nina 80-pound solar white cardstock with Memento Tuxedo black ink. So let's color. Let's outline our girdle first. For that, we're going to use C31000 and our colorless blender. And I'm going to start with my C3, and we want to put that where we want it to be the darkest. So right here between her shirt and her hair, she has a little patch of background. I'm going to color that in. Then we're going to go down here and we're going to go on Nexus hat. Let's do a little bit by her hair, like that. And then let's go underneath of her hand, like so. I'm going to bring this line all the way down to the bottom of her foot, like that. And then let's do inside here, like that, and then we'll do a little bit over here underneath of the cute little lamp she's holding, and then I'm going to do a little dab right here where the lamp is touching her hand right there on the back. Alright, then we're going to go with C1. So I want to soften all those areas where I put my C3, so I'm just going to go right along the edge of that C3 and dab a little bit more of this color on there. I'm going to go ahead and fill in that little space there between her hair and her clothes. And we'll come down here. And with this, I'm going to color the other side of her leg, too. Now let's bring this over, maybe do a little bit underneath this spot. Alright, then let's go with C0. So for this, I'm going to go all the way around. So let's start right here, and we're just going to quickly go all the way around. I'm going to make sure to touch all these dark spaces too, so I want to go over those. And we're just going to go right around like so. You could do this little smoke if you want to. Later I'm going to put my Spica glitter pen and color that little swirl in. Let's color that little spot. There's hardly any there. And we're just going to work our way back around to this other side. Yeah. I like doing this first, so in case I get some on her and I want to erase it, that is a possibility. After I've colored it, it seems like I always manage to touch the other colors and bring them out into my background. Okay, then we're going to add C0. So I want to go right along the edge of that C0. We want to go right along the edge of our C0. And I'm just going right along. Over this swirl. And I'm not being too tidy. You might want to be a little bit nicer. And I'm not caring how far out it goes either. You might want yours a little bit closer. If you do, just make smaller lines. And then I'm going to go over this little section I put in the middle of her leg there, and this cute little section. Then I'm going to take my colorless blender, and I'm going to do between her legs here first before I forget. And let's do these little spaces up here in between her clothes. But then I'm going to lay my pen down on top of my girl, and I'm just going to brush out past all that color And I love it doing it first too, because you can go ahead and do this. You don't have to worry about touching the girl, because you're just wiping around. And this works best too if your colorless blender has is full or really juicy. And if you find a few spaces that think you maybe need a little bit scrubbing, go ahead and go over those. Maybe you didn't get enough blending out here. And then you let it dry and it will be great. Let's do her skin next. For that, we're going to use E11, 21, 00, 000. And for her cheeks, I want them extra pink today, so we're going to use our 43, 21, and 11. So let's start with our skin. So we're going to do E11 first. And I'm going to go, let's start with this hand over here. And there's already some great dots right here along the bottom of her hand. And I'm going to cheat and use those as my guide. And then there's a little bit here underneath of her sleeve. So we'll do that. We're going to have E21, and we just want to soften that edge a little bit. And then we'll do E00. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in, since it's all underneath of her hair and all that stuff. Then let's go over here and we'll do her other hand. So again, start with your E11. And I'm going to go along her thumb and wrap around her finger, back down, and then we'll add E21 next. I'm going to take this, brush it out here just a little bit more, and then again I'm going to fill this side in with my E00. And let's hop up here and do her neck. So I've got E11. I'm going to go underneath of her chin here and pull this out here where there's already some dots there. And then E21. And then our E00 to fill that in. Alright, let's do, before I color her face this time, I'm going to color her cheeks. So let's grab our 43, and I use the little dots on her face as my guide. And I thought doing her cheeks first would help me not get quite so much ink on there with the face colors, so we're just going to try that out. And then we've got our 21. And then our R11. All right, then we're going to go with our skin color, so let's grab E11. And I'm going to start over here where she's got some little dots on her face. We're going to go underneath of her hat and back around over here on her cheek and to her neck. Okay, then we're going to go with E21. So I'm going to bring that line back around this way. And then we want to soften our E21. So I'm just going to brush that out a little bit. Then we're going to go with E00. And then I'm going to take my E000 and go over her whole face. I love how pink her cheeks are. I actually think I'll take a little bit more of my R43, Just do a little bit over here, a little bit on the edge of this one, then R21, and then R11. Soften that up a little bit. And then our E000, again, to go over that to soften the whole thing. So for her hair, we're going to use E37, 35, 31, 50. We're going to start with our E37, and she's got just a little bitty bit of hair right here. So I'm going to go ahead and dab just a little dab of this on there. Okay. Then we'll go over here and let's do a little bit right along the cap line. I'm going to draw a little line there so I don't color on her hat. Even though we're going to color that red, we don't want to get our brown in there. Okay. And then we're going to go around. It's curving around here. So right here in the curve, I'm going to add a little bit right here. That. Let's bring it a little bit this way too. I'm going to go right next to her face right there, since it's touching. Then let's do right here where it looks like it kind of bumps in again. So we're going to do right here. And then out this way. And then right here it's bumping in, so let's do that. And right here. And then down here on her little bottom of her ponytail, or her braid, let's do a little dab in there. Then we're going to go with E35. I'm going to go ahead and color this little section over here in. And then we just want to add some more color to her hair. So I'm just going to go right along. Add a little bit on this back side. And then we're going to add E31. And then I want to go over the whole thing with my E50. I'm going to go ahead and do that to this little spot over here too, even though I already colored it all the way in. Oh, whoops, helps if you're in the screen, huh? Okay, so let's do with E37 again. So I just want to add a little bit of this dark back in. Maybe put a little bit down here, even though I didn't the first time. Let's do the little tassel next. For that, we're going to use Y26 and 23. And we're going to start with our Y26. Now let's do a little dab up here where it's touching that little knot. And then I'm going to color this little rope string in. And then let's bring this down along the back. And then I want to fill it in with my Y23. And then I want to make it a little bit darker, so let's do Y26 again. So let's do her shirt and alternate stripes on her pants next. For that, we're going to use E41, 30, quadruple 0, W double 0, and then Y11 to add the shadow from the lamp on her shirt. So let's start with our E41, and I'm going to do that. Let's do the sleeve over here first. So I'm just going to add this right along here, and there's already some great dots there already. And then I'm going to do a little bit up here underneath of her chin. And then we want to bring this away from her body here. And then I'm going to make a little, right here where there's some dots, I'm going to come across like this. Okay, and then over here, let's go ahead and do this side where it's touching her sleeve there. We'll come up from the bottom, and then I'm going to do a little bit in the crook of her arm right here. And then I'm going to go away from this side. And like the other side where these little dots stop right here, I'm going to bring this over. Then I'm going to add E30. Just work our way down. And then we're going to add E quadruple 0. I'm going to use this to just go over the entire thing. Go around these buttons, and if you color over those, that'll be all right because we're going to make those red. So don't worry if you colored them. Okay, and then I took my W double 0 because I wanted it to be a little bit more grayish, and I just wiped over the entire shirt. I think I will go back with my E41 and just add a little bit more of that contrast back in. And then let's take E30 and soften that just a little bit. And then our E double 0, our quadruple 0. There, that looks a little bit better. Okay, then we're going to use this on our alternate stripes down here on her pants. So let's go with E41 first. So let's see, I'm going to do this top one underneath of her pants red first so that they don't, so there's kind of a little line there between this. And then these, do I want to make this? No, I'm going to make this stripe, even though it doesn't go all the way across, I'm going to make this one brown. So let's do like that. And we'll do her pants here, skip one. And same down here, we're going to go skip one, skip one, And let's do a little bit on the bottom of this, like that. And I think I'll do a little dab along the edge of these. Then we're going to grab E30. And then E quadruple 0. And then our W double 0, got a little bit of dark, a little bit of grayish tone on there. And I'm kind of liking those, so I'm not going to do a second coat on that. But let's take our Y11 now. And I'm going to go up here. This light's going to be shining on her shirt. So I'm going to take my Y11 and I'm going to do a little dab up here at the top of her shirt, right along that here. And let's do a little dab right here. Like that. So let's hop up here and do the lamp. For the lamp, we're going to use N4, 2, and 0. Let's start with our N4. And I'm going to do that, let's see. Let's do it down here at the bottom. And I'm doing each of these little lines that are already on there for me. And then let's do this little spot underneath there. And then I want to go along this side of her lamp. Then we're going to go with N2. So let's do a little bit of that down here. And then we're going to brush softly over these little lines. And then we're going to add N0. So let's fill this in down here. Okay, like that. Then we're going to add the flame to our lamp up here. So let's do Y17, YR21, and Y11. So I'm going to start with my Y17. And let's do a little dab of that right here in this middle section where it's got that little bulb. And I'm going to do a little dab coming up like this. And then we also want this to cast a shadow down here on this lamp. So let's do it right here. And then we're going to do a little bit like that. Then we're going to add YR12 or YR21. So let's bring that in here. And then we want to add some more down here to our lamp. And then we'll do our Y11. So let's start some red now down here on her pants stripes. For that, we're going to use R39, 37, and 35. Let's do R39 first. So I'm going to do a little dab up here in between her coat jacket. And let's bring this along. And then she's got a little bit showing over here. I'm going to very carefully come out here until I meet this section. That. And over here, we're going to do this one. Like this. And a little bit on this side. And for her little toe down here, like that. And then the same for this side over here. Let's go along the bottom and then brush up a little bit. And then we want to do a little dab right along the edge. Then we want to add R37. I'm going to fill in this top one up here. Be careful, I don't want to get my red everywhere. And then we're going to fill them in the rest of the way with our R35. Over here. Whoops. All right, there's our pants, super cute. So let's do the buttons on her shirt with R39. And I'm just going to very carefully just kind of dot my pin up and down a couple times in there to fill it in. It's not going to take much, they're pretty small. And then we're going to go up here and we'll do her hat. So for that, we're going to use our 39, 37, 35, and 32. So let's start with our R39. Let's go down here at the end of this tassel. And there's some little dots right here, so I'm going to fill those in real quick. And then we're going to bring our R39 along her hair. And then we want it to brush away from this edge. And then over here, we're going to bring that up. Like that. Let's also do, let's bring it over here to our hair. And then we'll bring it away over this way. Like that. And then up here, she's got a little bit of a wrinkle in her hat. So let's do like that. We'll exaggerate that a little bit. And then over here, she's got like a little wrinkle right here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring that wrinkle out like this. And then we're going to darken it up in here. Like so. And then over here, let's do the same thing with this section of her hat right here. And then we're going to bring it up a little bit and then follow that dot. And then for the other side, we're going to, let me turn my girl here. We're going to continue on with our line. So let's bring this line all the way across over here. And then I'm going to bring my dots or my pencil up here towards where the end of these dots are. But I need to pull that out a little bit, so I'm going to just vary the little tiny strokes, bring this out just a tad bit. Okay, like that. Then we're going to add R37. So let's just start over here. And then let's see our little hat right here. I'm going to bring this down over here. And then we're going to connect this. And we're going to connect it to this one up here. And let's bring this up a little bit more. And let's bring this over to this one. And then we're going to brush this one over. And we'll do a little dab of this color over here on the bottom too. There we go. All right, then let's go with R35. So let's do down here. I'm going to go ahead and fill this section down here in. And this little bump right here. And then we just want to add some of this. We'll continue adding a little bit up here. Onto our hat band. I'm going to bring this and then we're going to take our R32 to fill that in. I'm going to swipe clear across. And even though I filled these in down here, I'm going to go ahead and go over these and soften those a little bit. And then I'm going to go back over these little light spots one more time. For the ground, we're going to use W5, 3, 1, and 00. Let's do W5 first. Just going to go up a little bit past her foot, and then bring this across underneath of her little feet. Same over here, go a little bit past her foot. And then we're going to add W3. And I'm just going to add a little dab right across the bottom. Because on your piece it's cut out in an oval, so you don't need to have, there's not that much space down here. And then our W00, like this. And then W5, again to add this dark back in. I think I'll soften that just a little bit with W3. So there is our beautiful Tilda with Christmas lamp all colored up. Didn't she turn out cute? And then again, here's my finished card. So this girl is popped up on her mat. The cinnamon is again popped up. And the trees, I kind of left them free up here at the top. So they kind of poof up here at the top, but I connect them down here at the bottom. That makes sense. I did some Spigot glitter pen in her hair. And some of my Sharpie white paint pen on her cheeks. And then some dots along here on her hat. And then I used my Stickle Stardust right here on the flame of the little candle. There we go. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I hope you're having a great day and we'll see you next time. Bye.